Guys, Chris Speed here. So this is just going to be a really simple deadlift WOD. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of like what I've chosen to put into this and why I've chosen it, and then we'll just sort of show a little video of it. So the first thing I've put in, and in order, is going to be jumps from a seated position with weights, a deadlift to a 2-rep max with bands, a deadlift to a heavy single or a 1-rep max without the bands, and then some overhead carries and some chin-ups. The reason I've chosen seated jumps is because it's very similar to deadlift. You're going from static overcome by dynamic, so you're starting from a dead stop, and you have to accelerate as hard as you can through without using your arms to create momentum, using a lot more of a hip hinge movement than you are a squat type movement. By going for the 10 sets of 2, what you're going to find is that you actually get a little bit more activation for your deadlifts. The actual pattern of starting from a dead stop with weights in the hands, staying tight and accelerating through and exploding becomes a bit more natural after you've had that weight in your hands and you're jumping for a while. So when you go to the deadlifts, that idea of just getting tense, staying tight, gripping and ripping should become a little bit more natural, so you don't have as much to think about when you go to the deadlift. Brief aspect of it is, of course, that, you know, when we're looking at power development, part of it is obviously how much force you can produce. The other part of the equation is how fast you can produce it. This jump pattern, because you've got weights in your hands, kind of works a little bit on both, but mostly on how fast you can apply force, and that's why I really like this one before you go into heavy deadlifts, because it works on your rate of force production, so you can blast through your sticking points a bit harder. So the reason we're going from a deadlift for a 2-rep max with the band then to without is because, again, we're looking for that activation of having to produce force quickly to overcome the band. So working up to a 2-rep max in about 5 to 6 sets with the band, then taking the band off and going for a 1-rep max or a heavy single without the band should make it so that you can move fast enough with the band that when you take it off, you'll start to accelerate and explode through your sticking points enough to hopefully hit yourself a PB on your deadlift, or at least make the heavier work feel not as bad. We want to keep deadlifts low volume, so that's all we're going to do on deadlifts today. Even though it is a deadlift day, I don't want to hit too much volume on it, because for me, I know I don't need a lot on it, and I can't handle a lot of deadlift volume, because then I won't be able to train very well for the next day or so. So you're going to move straight onto accessory work. I've picked axle bar carries because one of our strongman clients has been kind enough to leave one of his axle bars at the gym. So we use that for some overhead carries because it's very, very good for upper mid-back development, abs, lower back, hips, just keeping everything healthy and making sure everything's balanced. You can use any carry you want. You can go with farmer's walks, you can go with a single arm overhead carry with a dumbbell, kettlebells, double overheads, rack carries, whatever it is you like. Just include some carries in here just for back and core health. To finish up with, we're just going to hit 4 sets of as many reps as possible on chin-ups or pull-ups, whatever grip you like. What we're looking to do on this is just to keep on training the core, the abs, the mid and upper back and the arms. Main reason for doing this is because those are very much involved in the deadlift. Those are the smaller muscles and the weaker ones that are going to tend to give way and maybe put us at risk for injury. And it's also an exercise where we're hanging, so hopefully it's going to take some of the pressure off the lower spine so that we can still work the back and still improve our deadlift without stressing the back too much. So please give that workout a try. As usual, if you need to get a hold of me and you want to ask questions about this workout or any of my previous content or anything else you can think of that I might be able to help with, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook or by email.